Howdy folks, welcome to another beautiful summer's day out here in West Vancouver. It might not look like summer because we've got cloud, but it's nice and warm today actually. And that's what I wanted to talk about today as well, summer, because I just thought summer is a simple thing. It starts and it ends on a certain date, and that is it. That's how it works. Apparently summer is a lot more complex than that. And I got to thank Kirsten, one of our viewers on the channel, that commented on a video where I was talking about the fact that it was summer solstice last week, and it's the middle of summer and it hasn't been summer yet. I was getting a little bit freaked out that we're going to miss out on summer. And apparently I was completely wrong. Summer solstice is not the middle of summer. Summer solstice is the start of summer. So I had to go and dig down a little bit and figure out how it works so I can share it with you. Now, why did I think summer solstice is the middle of summer? Because summer solstice is the time when the sun reaches the highest up into the northern hemisphere than it normally for the year, pretty much. So for those of you that don't know, can't remember their high school geography, what was it even called? Astronomy, whatever. So you've got the sun in the middle and the earth rotates around the sun, but as the earth rotates around the sun, it's got a little bit of movement. So during the course of a year, the sun is at one point closest to the southern hemisphere, and then it moves, and the southern hemisphere moves further away, and then it's closer to the northern hemisphere, and that's summer and winter. So when the sun is at its closest point to the northern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere absorbs more sunlight and heat, and then it's summer, and vice versa for winter. Now, I obviously thought, my logic led me down there a little bit, is that as the sun starts moving closer to the northern hemisphere, that's when summer starts, and when it's at its peak, when it's at its closest, that's the peak of summer, and then as it starts moving away again, we're moving into winter. And once again, thank you, Kirsten, for pointing that out. That's not how it works at all, due to a phenomenon called seasonal lag. And what is seasonal lag? So basically what happens is when the sun starts moving closer towards the northern hemisphere, it's almost like when you put a pot of water on the stove to boil it. I mean, you switch the plate on and you put the pot of water on, but the water is not immediately hot. It takes a while for the water to heat up. And the same thing, by the time you actually switch the plate off or the stove off, when the water is boiling, the water doesn't go cold immediately. It takes a little while to cool down. Now, it's a similar effect. So basically what happens is, as the sun starts moving closer to the northern hemisphere, it starts warming up the oceans, it starts warming up the land, it starts warming up the air and everything. But it's still early days. It's still a bit of a battle that it's fighting, so it's not immediately heating it up. And by the time it actually turns at the top is roughly the time when it's got it nice and warm now, and then as it starts moving down, it goes across that again and it heats it up a little bit more, and then only it starts cooling down again. So fall really is when the sun has already crossed over into the southern hemisphere. That's when fall starts for us. And but that's not the only thing about summer. So that is how summer works. That's why summer solstice is actually the start of summer. But summer solstice is actually the start of astronomical summer, not of meteorological summer. Meteorological summer is a different thing. Meteorological summer starts on the 1st of June, and astronomical summer starts on the summer solstice, which is generally around the 23rd, 24th, 25th, somewhere around there in June, and it's on a different day every year because it depends on when the sun reaches its apex or its closest point to the northern hemisphere. Now, what is meteorological summer? Meteorological summer is just something we invented to make it easier for statistics, because if you have to count astronomical summers, it sometimes starts on a different day, and it's not all the same. It screws around with statistics a lot, so it's very hard for people to comprehend it and to calculate things. So that's why they said we're just going to create a new seasons where meteorological summer starts on the 1st of June and meteorological Fall starts 3 months later, and we divide the year into sections of 3 months, and we call those the different seasons, and that's it. It starts on the first of the month. Makes it much easier for statistics and record keeping. And then, of course, you know, astronomical summer, which is technically, I suppose, the real summer. So there you have it. Summer has only just begun, which is great news because it is nice and warm already. So hopefully we're going to have a good one this year. We have a good solid 2 to 3 months of heat coming up, and then it goes into fall, which doesn't automatically turn cold. Just like spring didn't automatically turn hot immediately. Spring was freezing. Yeah, to be honest. Spring was just cold. The reason for that is because it took time to heat it all up. So it's the same thing goes. As we finish summer, fall is actually beautiful because it's still nice and hot, because it's still busy cooling down. All of this heat, all of this water and earth and everything around us that's been heated up so nicely now needs to cool down. So there you have it. Summer starts on summer solstice. And that's astronomical summer, not meteorological summer. But point is, I love summer. All right, folks, you all must have a good one. Cheers.